everyone, time for my March flip through of my bullet journal. First thing is the calendar, and it's the same as the others. I have the dots that are color coded and the extra information with addresses and stuff on the bottom. Of course, private information is covered. And then I have my March tracker. Instead of checking it off now, I'm coloring it in with the colors. Here I still have my monthly to-dos. And after this, I did something new. I have a March gratitude, and I've seen many people do a March gratitude, but I've always seen that they're listed out in a list format, like day 1, then 2, 3, all the way through, and then they just write it in. I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted something that would be like an art gallery, something that would make me want to come back and read this over and over, so it was really awesome. And I just love writing down some of these things. This day I even wrote something twice because, God came through for us financially on this day, and He provided some money to pay off a bill that was like really close to being overdue or something like that, where He just came through just in the nick of time. And then also it really stood out to me is that day my husband just kept saying, "Wow, you are so beautiful." So that really made me so happy all day, so I wrote it down. And then we had our 7th anniversary on March 7th, and this day I guess I was really grateful for coffee that day and beautiful weather. I love the flexibility that homeschool gives us. Oh, we observed our first Hebrew holiday, Purim. Kuma grilled some chicken. It was awesome. So I like looking back and reading these. It's really cool. My son Malachi accepted Christ as his Savior this day. I think I wrote in my journal that he had done it again. He had done it before in January, but this day he had said, he wasn't really sure about what he did in January. He didn't really know what it was he was doing. So we explained everything to him, and we made sure that he clearly understood and he knew what it really means for Christ to be his Savior and to forgive him of his sins, and died and rose back from the grave. And so he chose that he wanted Christ to be his Savior, and that's the day that we prayed with him right in our living room, and it was so awesome. Apparently this day, well, not only this day, but this was like a confirmation, like the Lord was convicting not only me but also my husband that we shouldn't be on birth control. So I set an appointment to remove it immediately, and also confirmation that we should be worshiping as a family in church and not having our kids be split up into age-appropriate groups. Instead, they should be sitting with us in the service. And then we had a movie date with my husband. So I really love this March gratitude log, and it was just awesome being able to do it, and now being able to go back and read it. So following this, oops, wrong page, sorry, I tried this tracker, how am I doing, and it listed things, how I was feeling, if I slept well, if I was focused, if I was anxious, if I laughed, cried, felt sick or cramping, if my day was busy, average, or quiet. And I liked doing this for that month, but then I felt like I didn't really need it because my days are pretty consistent and they're not like all over the place, except for right here. And this week I kind of was sleeping well, then slept badly, slept well, then slept badly. So, but other than that, it was pretty consistent throughout. So I feel like it's not something I really needed to continue doing. So following this page, I have my dailies, and you can see here, this was inspired by, I can't even tell you the name, so many people's headers and drawings and trackers inspire me on the Facebook page, Bullet Journal Junkies, and it's just awesome. So if I can't remember exactly who I got something from, I'm sorry, but I'm inspired by all of you if you're in that group. And I'm continuing to add quotes. This I do know was inspired by Boho Berry, and just because her arrows are like becoming famous, and so I know I drew that out of inspiration from her. And then I did some little journaling and wrote a big awesome exclamation about something that we did that Saturday that was apparently awesome. We went on a trail walk and it was really cool. We saw alligators and wildlife and it was great. So here I was inspired by this Instagram account and I can't remember the name right now. I'll have to look it up and link it on the screen or in the description box, but I really liked that, and it really made it easy to draw these ribbons like on your own. So I really liked that, and I have this cross here. What we have loved, others will love and will teach, and we will teach them how. So that reminded me of how my love for Christ, and the reason I love him is because he first loved me. That's a Bible verse. So if I love Christ, other people will see that. And I'm more thinking of my family and kids in this, you know, what we have loved, and for me that's Christ. Others will love, and I'm thinking of my kids. And that's a E. We will teach them how. So it's up to my husband and I, as parents, it is our duty to teach them to love Christ, because we are called to do that in his word. Okay, so from here, I really liked that. I'm not a big doodler, but I do like to doodle, even though I'm not, so great at it. From here, we're going on to the following days, and I changed up the date, and I really don't like this banner date. It took up such a big chunk of space, but I stuck with it for the rest of this spread, and I didn't do it again. It wasn't for me. It's so cute when other people do it, but I don't know. I'm still sticking with my weather doodles. I do like those. Those are easy for me to do. So, and I do like that it gives me a quick glance at how the weather was that day. From here, we have a different header, and it's written in bold with black, and then if you can see, it's in green behind the black in cursive. That was inspired again, I think, by Boho Berry on that Facebook group page, and I just put in the day in this little bracket, squiggly bracket things. I don't know what they're called. But anyways, that's that. Here I switched it up again, big bold in color, and then in cursive in black, and then the date in numbers and quotes on the bottom. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. H. Jackson Brown Jr. And this, I love this. Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Lilo, I love that movie. It's so cute and funny. Okay, let's see. I have a couple more pages to show you. Again, Boho Berry's arrows. Each of the arrows inside has a little different design, but it's basically the same arrow. And with little extra doodles. Went to the movies with my husband on this day, March 25th. And we celebrated Malachi's. This was the day he accepted Christ into his heart, that we prayed with him on our couch and he understood it. And last page. I have done this one before, but bigger, and I decided to do it again smaller, and I really like it. It's simple and streamlined and elegant and cute, still with the weather. And that is it for March. I got my baby boy a new teddy bear, Stuffy the Third, from Goodwill. He was so happy, and he loved the bear so much. So I always add in little memories, and I keep track of their chores. You see the dollar signs, what they did with their allowance, homeschool, just anything we have to do throughout the day. So that was it for March. Stay tuned for April. April's the last one I gotta do to catch up. I'll go ahead and post the links for the January and February below, and also the original January video that I did when I first started this journal. So stay tuned for April.